Welcome to a new view from the shadows. I'm your host, Keys Troy, and this is the first of many non-fiction stories. This video will be the first in a series of accounts from a friend of mine named Janet, and she's given me permission to tell her experiences. Janet is a frequent experiencer of sleep paralysis and shadow people. I will be reading an account in her own words. Here is what she had to say. Sleep paralysis. Imagine you wake up in the middle of the night only to find yourself unable to move your body. You can barely breathe because you can't move your chest. It's like someone is holding your chest down. Panic sets in as you try and fail to move your muscles. Panic just makes it worse. Now imagine that, but also that someone is coming to kill you. Pair that with the history that you have extremely vivid dreams, and sometimes have trouble discerning what is a real memory and what was a dream that seemed real. This can be described in one capitalized word: terror. I started experiencing sleep paralysis when I was around 15. Luckily, when it started, it didn't start off with characters in the dream trying to kill me. It used to just be me waking up, unable to move, and looking around my room. I tried to scream for my mom, but I was paralyzed. I couldn't contract my stomach muscles to utter anything. I could barely even breathe. It would happen maybe once every couple of months or so. What exactly is sleep paralysis? I'm not sure if there are any advances in studying sleep paralysis, or how much it is currently being studied. I used to research it a lot to find some answers. Answers ranged from, quote, "It's your spirit re-entering your body after astral projecting," end quote, Sylvia Browne, to "one side of your brain wakes up while you're in REM," to something a little more scientific and persuasive. A combination of glycine, a neurotransmitter, and gamma-aminobutyric acid, a nerve receptor, are being overproduced and interrupts REM sleep. This final answer is the one I obviously identify with. Putting it in layman's terms, sleep paralysis is when the sleep chemicals in your brain are still being produced, but you wake up so you can see your physical surroundings while still being able to see your dream unfold in those surroundings. As for the chemicals being produced while you see your surroundings along with your dream, I'm unsure how they are linked. Perhaps it is something along the lines of your brain reads that you are producing these chemicals, which tells it to keep dreaming, but not realizing that the brain is awake. I wonder if that topic is in discussion during tests. It's quite terrifying because your bed is your safe place. It's the place you go to rest, recover, and literally disconnect with the world through being unconscious and vulnerable. It's quite an unnerving feeling when your safe place is violated by the terror of sleep paralysis, especially if you experience it more frequently than normal. I distinctly remember when I began having characters in my SP experiences. I was with my brother visiting our mom in Virginia. There were 3 floors to the townhouse: top floor for bedrooms, middle for living spaces, bottom for basement. My mom was asleep upstairs, and my brother and I were on the middle floor watching TV late at night. I fell asleep on the floor in a position where I was sort of twisted and facing the stairwell to the basement. I remember waking up unable to move. I heard my brother eating popcorn in the TV, so I tried to call out to him. Of course, nothing. Then I saw a shadow coming up the stairs. I remembered there was a sliding glass door in the basement and thought this person was coming to rob or kill us, but I couldn't move. He walked up slowly and had a cowboy hat on. I didn't see the actual person, but it was just a pitch black solid shadow. Terrifying. I woke up fully a few minutes later and freaked out. My poor little brother had no idea what was going on, and he was feet away from me the entire time. I have many more stories on sleep paralysis. I have talked to a lot of people about it. Most people haven't experienced it and just looked at me funny or slightly horrified or think I'm making it up. Others do experience it and can relate a little bit. I guess it's normal to experience it once or twice a month, but I get bouts of it like cluster headaches. Sometimes it'll be once or twice a week. Other times it'll come 2 or 3 times a night, a couple times a week. But also other times it'll be so frequent, over 5 times a night, that I can't bear it, so I try not to fall asleep. Can anyone say Freddy Krueger syndrome? I hope this gives some insight into SP, and feel free to ask me any questions at all. I'm completely open to talking about it, so when people say I always look grumpy, tired, mad, it's usually because I'm exhausted from being at work and exhausted from going through a bad bout of SP. Janet. Thank you for listening to this. Like I said, there's a lot more of her experiences that will be coming in the future. Maybe this will give you, the listeners, some answers. Maybe some of you, it'll just make you feel better knowing that you're not alone. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this view from the shadows.